So I wanted to talk about Renel Martinez here, Chris Salvador, Ayatop, all those names still apply. I wanted to talk about Stormy Daniels. Now, Stormy Daniels is a very sexy, beautiful woman. I'm sure anybody wants to sleep with her. She's always been beautiful, from scenes with Manuel Ferrara that she's done to whoever else. She's been amazing. She's sexy. She's beautiful. She's great. She's looking now a little, looking a little sad lately because she's happy to get in the press because of she slept with Donald Trump. I think a couple years ago they slept together. They still are, or who knows what's going on. But a couple of months ago, August Ames and Sheila Stiles were gone, and I could mention conspiracy theories, but I wonder if the girls didn't have any contract any diseases sexually, there was really no reason for them to kill themselves or commit suicide or drugs killed them. They're beautiful women. They should have lived to be, 70s, 80 years old. They're beautiful. So I was thinking that maybe they, usually I always think this isn't true, it's a conspiracy theory, but I always think that they may have slept with a celebrity or someone who's famous and married, and that person ended up needing them to be quiet and shut them up. So with Stormy Daniels, while everybody already knows that she slept with Donald Trump and they've been together, there's this whole non-disclosure agreement that she hasn't violated because she doesn't want to spend millions of dollars and go to prison or whatever the non-disclosure would do to her. I think the worst thing that's happened is everyone is calling her a whore and that she should die and that she's a bitch and that Trump wouldn't sleep with her. I mean, really, he's Donald Trump. He slept with her. I'm sure he sleeps with porn stars every day. I'm sure he spends millions of dollars trying to quiet all the women that he's had sex with while he's married. And nobody really cares because John F. Kennedy slept around, when he was president with women and, Clinton and as a president, when you're powerful, you can meet with women that you want to meet with and have sex with them. And you make sure that your wife never sleeps around on you as your president. It would be the biggest, violation of a marriage for a wife who's the first lady to have sex with another man and leave you and divorce you and get pregnant. And that, Melania hasn't done that and she probably never will. But, it's one thing if a man in power sleeps around who's a senator or whatever, but they've never had the wife sleep around and do something. So I want to talk about Stormy Daniels. Very beautiful, very sexy. We all love her. She's great. But I think she should kind of just end this. I think she shouldn't talk about it because the time to have talked about it was during the election. The time to have come out and made a really big deal about this was when he was getting elected, or right after he was getting elected, or around the time he was coming into power. Maybe something could have happened, ruined his chances. Now it's just irrelevant. He's not going to lose his job in the White House for having sex with a porn star. It's just not going to happen. For having sex with a beautiful woman and cheating around on your wife, you're not going to lose your job for doing that. But if there was a death threat, if there was, campaign funds involved, if you can find some sort of scandal, that's fine. But people don't care because they hate Stormy Daniels. I don't know why people do. She's just a sex worker doing her job. Maybe she doesn't like being called a sex worker. Maybe she doesn't. I don't really know. But Stormy Daniels is a woman that I remember I used to look at her porn and I thought she's really not in porn that much. She is a lot in porn. There's scenes, but it's hard to find them online and it's hard to really see a lot of her when she's really one of the most, she's as famous as Jenna Jameson. She's really famous and she's been in a lot of stuff. But now it feels like now maybe because she's just bored, I guess. Like there's really nothing to talk about. You had sex with a powerful man. Did you enjoy it? I mean, it seems like she didn't hate it. It's not, I can't imagine that she'd come out and say that his dick was limp and he was a terrible at sex and she kind of talked about how nice he was, how he was trying to get her work and it seems like she just wants to be in the public eye right now, which is not good. Just go back to doing porn. Forget about the president. The only time to have done something was during the election. At that time, she could have gotten paid a lot of money from Hillary's side. Could have done something for Hillary. The scandal that Hillary had would have been far less a problem if Stormy would have come out. Now it's kind of not really a big deal. So still would love to see what happens with it, but I'm kind of over the idea that a man sleeps with a woman behind his wife's back, and we're going to look at that as something that's a big deal. It's not. It makes sense. He's an older man, very much older. He's in his what, 70s, 60s, 70s. I don't even know. And he's horny. He's a horny guy. He's a powerful, rich, horny guy, and he wants to sleep with porn stars. And he does. And there's a whole shady bullshit reality that people like Mia Khalifa, people like Ava Angelina, people, sorry about that noise. I'm sorry. It's a Febreze or something. But there's a whole reality that if you're a porn star or a stripper or someone who's beautiful and sexy or a groupie, men will text you and say, "Hey, I'm rich, I'm famous, let's have sex." And then they pay you to sign something to not talk about it. And men are going out and having sex. No woman has ever, you wouldn't see Salma Hayek go have sex with a man and have him sign a non disclosure. She doesn't care. She would probably end up being a partner to that person. So men are the only ones who have to keep it secret because there's slut shaming and sex shaming and. So, sorry to Stormy for getting death threats and being called a whore, but, you know, you're going after the President of the United States. So, kind of scary. You wonder what he's willing to do, how far he's willing to go to shut her up when people already know they had sex. And you kind of wonder, why doesn't she just try to have sex with him again? Why doesn't she just say, "Hey, I really like Donald Trump. Let's have sex again. That's what I really want." Just be stupid and say that, and then get your way into his inner circle and get a little power. Sorry about that noise. Done.